lang ng 10, then we'll start. A pleasant morning to each and everyone. Today we'll be having private conference for three goods and services with contract ID number 23 GBI 75 up to 23 GBI 77 and three civil works project with contract ID number 23 BI 125 up to 23 BI 127. But before we start, let us all stand for a prayer.
Manalangin tayo. Panginoong Diyos, itinataas namin ang iyong pangalan. Pinapupurihan at pinasasalamatan ka namin sa lahat ng iyong mga ginawa at pagpapala. Salamat sa panibagong araw na ipinagkaloob mo sa amin. At sa oras na ito na kami ay muling natipon. Gabayanin niyo po kami sa aming mga gawain. Bigyan mo po kami ng talino at lakas upang magampanan po namin ang aming mga tungkulin. Buksan mo po ang aming isip at puso sa mga bagong kaalaman na aming matututunan. At nawa ay maging kagamit-gamit ang mga ito sa aming buhay at sa pagtulong sa aming kapwa. Ikaw po nawa ang maluwalhati sa lahat ng aming katagumpayan sa araw na ito. Ito lamang po ang aming dalangin sa pangalan ni Jesus. Amen.
Let us all be seated. To our YouTube live viewers, fellow back members, technical working group, secretariat, and the observer who are present today from the session company. Good morning, sir. Once again, good morning to all. To continue, may request the head secretariat who are the invited observers for today's private conference. Engineer Brian Nilagusto.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Cecil, kindly play the selected official observers for today's private conference. Thank you. And our official observer, sir, for today's procurement activity is from the Chamber Real Estate and Builders Association. Cecil, kindly flash the notice to observers, letters to observers.
So, Engineer Brian Nilagusto, can you read who are the other observers aside from our alternate observers and the resident auditor, which is we have selected Mr. Eduardo L. Lamadrid, Chairman from the Chamber Real Estate and Builders Association La Union Chapter.
Yes, sir, these are the three observers for today's private conference from the resident auditor, Commission on Audit, DPWH Nueva Vizcaya First District Engineering Office, Bambang-Nueva Vizcaya. And our second official observer, sir, is Mr. Eduardo L. Lamadrid, Chairman, Chamber Real Estate of Builders Association, La Union Chapter, San Fernando City, La Union. And our third official observer, sir, is Engineer Gladys G. Tiburcio, alternate observer from the National Constructors Association of the Philippines, Incorporated, Aritao, Nueva Vizcaya. So these are the official observers for today's private conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Brian Alagusto. So we have sent letters and also not through email the other observers. Do you have email to them?
Yes, sir. We have sent it through email dated October 25, 2023, sir, for the three official observers. Thank you.
They are not present today, but we have already sent the three official observers for today's private conference, so he's not around, but we'll have to continue the private conference. So, again, may I request Engineer Brian Nail Augusto, our Head Secretariat, to read the attendance for today's private conference and declare if we have a quorum. Engineer Brian Augusto.
A pleasant morning to all for today's private conference and to our YouTube live viewers. Good morning. And for the roll call of the attendance for the bids and awards committee members competition, we have Engineer Valentino B. Sareno,
Present.
BAC Chairman, Chief Planning and Design Section, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe, BAC Vice Chairperson, Chief Quality Assurance Section, Architect IBO Salazar, Provisional Member and User for all types of project procurement, Engineer Jermin B. Benevista, Provisional Member and User from the Planning and Design Section, Engineer Larissa Villanueva Blanza, Provisional Member and User for Goods and Services from Maintenance Section, Engineer Maria Lloyd F. Bernabe, Provisional Member and User from the Maintenance Section. And for the roll call, sir, of the BAC Secretariat, yours truly, Brian Neil G. Augusto, Head. For the BAC Secretariat members, we have Miss Lutgarda D. Reyes, Miss Ande Erica P. Cabang, and for the BAC Technical Working Group, sir, who are present for today's activity, we have Engineer Reden A. Milyare, Member TWG, Engineer Leonie F. E. Pasqua, Member TWG, Engineer Angie A. Reyes, Member TWG, Miss Diane Sheldon B. Balico, Member TWG. And for the prospective bidders, suppliers, sir, who are present here for today's activity, may we acknowledge the presence of Gian Lusada, Session Marketing Incorporated representative, and for the technical personnel, sir, who prepared the plans and DEDs for this particular project, we have Engineer Joseph Noel S. Adukul,
Present, sir.
Engineer 2 from the maintenance section. Sir, majority of the bids and awards committee composition is hereby present for today's activity. Therefore, there is a constitution of quorum. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Brian Neil Augusto, our Head Secretariat, for reading the attendance for today's private conference. Since we have a quorum, as back chair, I now officially open this private conference, and I found that this private conference is in order. So to continue, we will proceed for the agenda for today's private conference. For the first agenda, which is the basic contract data, to explain to us for goods and services by engineer, the three goods and services by engineer Larissa Blanza. For civil works, to be discussed to us by engineer Joseph at Dukul. The second agenda, the requirements of bidding documents by our head secretariat, engineer Brian Nail G. Augusto. For number 3 agenda, documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposals, again by our head secretariat, engineer Brian Nail G. Augusto. For number 4 agenda, criteria and procedure for the preliminary examination of the bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification and award by our provisional member for all types of procurement, Architect IBO Salazar. Number 5 agenda, questions, comments from bidders and replies of BAC and other representatives of procuring entity with the BAC members. And we have number 6, other matters. And the number 7, summary of proceedings including bid bulletins, addenda to be issued if any. That is the agenda for today's PREBID conference. But to continue, I will first read the section 22 regarding PREBID conference as per 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184. 22.3, the PREBID conference shall discuss, clarify, and explain, among other things, the eligibility requirements and the technical and financial components of the contract to be bid, including questions and clarifications raised by the prospective bidders before and during the PREBID conference. PREBID conference may be conducted in person or face-to-face through video conferencing, webcasting, or similar technology, or a combination thereof. Procuring entities with video conferencing capabilities that have manufacturers, suppliers, distributors, contractors, and or consultants that also have video conferencing capabilities may conduct their pre-bidding conference electronically. The pre-bid conference is open to prospective bidders, and in case of procurement of consulting services, the shortlisted, but attendance shall not be mandatory. 22.4, the minutes of the pre-bid conference shall be recorded and prepared not later than 5 calendar days after the pre-bid conference, and shall be made available to prospective bidders not later than 5 days upon written request. Decisions of the PAC amending any provisions of the bidding documents shall be issued in writing through a supplemental bid bulletin at least 7 calendar days before the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. That is section 22 as per IRR 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184. It is the pre-bid conference. So to continue, let's start for the agenda, which is the basic contract data. Let's start for the goods and services. The three goods and services will be discussed to us by Engineer Larissa Blanza. Let's start for the contract ID number 23 GBI 175. So, Engineer Blanza, take it away.
Good morning, everybody. So for the contract ID 23 GBI 175, the project name is procurement of 1 unit aerial drone for use of DPWH, Nueva Vizcaya 1st District Engineering Office. The location of the project is at DPWH Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. The ABC, or the indicative approved budget for the contract, is 11 million. The duration for the contract is 30 calendar days upon the issuance of the NTP. Cost of bid documents is 25,000 pesos. The sources of fund is from the DPWH FY 2023 Capital Outlay EAW. So for the contract ID 23 GBI 175, the specification for the aerial drone should be a multi-rotor, either quadcopter, hexacopter, or octocopter. Should have a small AUV as defined by CAAP and not less than the 1 kilograms in weight. It should be RTK positioning capable, full automatic and manual control capable with obstruction detection and automatic home. The function should be a minimum of 60 kilometers per hour speed. Should also have a flight endurance of a minimum of 50 minutes. Should have wind tolerance of a minimum of 50 kilometers per hour. And for the environmental protection, minimum of IP45. For the controller of the aerial drone, it should have a screen size of a minimum of 5.5 inches. The screen resolution should be 1920 by 1080 minimum pixels minimum. It should have a range of minimum of 8 kilometers, and the battery life should be minimum of 2 hours. For the LiDAR attachment, the number of returns should have a minimum of 5 returns. The range should be 300 meters at 80% reflectivity. The accuracy is 15 millimeters or more accurate. The point range should be 100,000 points per second minimum. The laser safety should be class 1. Environmental protection of a minimum of IPS4. The operating temperature should be at a range of 10 to positive 40 degrees Celsius. And for the field and data processing laptop, the operating system for the laptop should have a Windows 11 or its latest version. And the processor should be 11th generation Intel Core i7, AMD Ryzen or equivalent. It should also have a minimum of 16 gigabytes RAM, and the video card should be RTX 3060 or better. The display for the laptop is 15.6 inches. The storage is 1 terabyte SSD. For the post-processing hardware, should be license attached, point cloud generation, mesh generation, export to AutoCAD or equivalent software, and for the accessories, should have RTK drone with camera. And the GNSS-based control with manufacturer standard spare parts package and with 4 extra batteries and multi-slot battery charger. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Engineer Larissa Blanza, for discussing to us the basic contract data and also the specification for the project with contract ID number 23GBI75. But first, may from the Secretariat, from our YouTube live viewers, do you have any questions or clarifications from the first goods and services? None? How about uh, our prospective bidders are present today from the Session Marketing Incorporated? Do you have any questions or clarification from the discussed basic contract data and also the specification? Okay, noted. So, from our fellow back members, do we have any amendments or question or clarification from the basic contract data and also from the specification as discussed? Let's start from Engineer Jeremy in Buenavista.
Hello? Ano lang, clarification lang doon sa specification siya kanina kasi nabanggit ni Engineer Larissa na ano, AUV. Hindi ba ano yun, UAV? Kasi unmade, sabi niya ba? Ay, unmanned aerial. So, UAV. Baliktad.
AUV. Unmanned. UAV. Unmanned.
UAV. Unmanned aerial vehicle. So, UAV. Saka tanong ko lang, ano ba yung detection? Sabi kasi kanina yung detection, sabi mo kanina. Hindi ba detection?
Detection. And automatic.
Ayun.
So, detection.
Okay.
Tapos isa pa, ano ko doon sa, sa supplier, ano ba yun sa may returns sabi niya doon? 5 minimum returns niya.
Yung ibig sabihin bukas na yung kaya ng
Sa LiDAR po, yung sa returns po kasi, yung iba po kasi sa photogrammetry, hindi po natin nakikita yung mismong pinaka-ilalim na, so yung point po ng laser. So ayaw po niya kasi marating yung pinaka-ilalim, pagka nilagay niyo po sa software, so kitang-kita niyo na po mismo yung pinaka-ilalim. So unlike po kasi pag walang LiDAR, limited lang po yung pwede na as in, kadalasan yung top view. Kung ano lang po, kumbaga what we see is what we know. Unlike po sa LiDAR, kaya po talaga po ano yung initiate ng ganyan. Penetration.
Sa detection niya.
Sa detection.
So yung 5 returns ng sabi niya,
Ayun po yung para sa LiDAR.
number of returns, 5 minimum. Ano yung 5 na minimum?
Yung point po.
5 meters?
Opo.
Metro.
5 meters?
Hindi, yung pinaka po kasi yun, sir. Pag nadaanan po kasi ng drone, then yung LiDAR, yung pinaka laser point po niya. As in, kaya po niya ma-penetrate ng hanggang 5. So may 3 returns po kasi tayo, may 1 return lang. So yung iba, hindi po na-penetrate yung hanggang ilalim.
Ang ibig mo sabihin sa ilalim, are you referring to the depth of the penetration of the laser?
Opo, for example, forestry po. So yung iba, top view lang po kasi. So yun po hanggang kung gusto po natin makuha yung pinaka-slope, pwede po natin alisin yung lahat mag-penetrate po yung
Mawawala yung
elevation, sikat po niya.
Makukuha yung configuration?
Yes.
Yung sabihin, kung mayroong mga trees, kaya nang tanggalin doon sa computer.
Yung trees, tayo po yung makukuha ng kotse, lahat.
Lulusot siya doon sa mga kaya po kasi.
Tanggalin niyo lahat yun. Opo.
Tanong ko din, yun nga, from trees, ano? Pero pang yung normal na terrain, di ba pag may tunnel sa ilalim, nakikita din kung how yung deep niya, yung depth niya.
Yung
Yung,
pinaka-maabot lang po dun sa tunnel. Pero yung pinaka-low, unless yung maliliit na drone lang po kasi yung pwede pumasok sa mga tunnel. Pero kung may mga tunnel po, hanggang sa pinaka-maliliit po ng laser, makukuha po yun.
Sir, ano ko lang sana, kasi may nakalagay dito yung parang less than 1 kilo siya, ilang ano talaga niya, kilogram.
Kasi sa po, pag sumobra po tayo ng 7 kilos, hindi na po siya inaalaw na parang small drone. Saka, hindi na po register. So dito po, yung pasok naman po siya. Once na in-attach na po yung LiDAR, hindi naman po siya lalagpas ng 7 kilos.
So, 1 kilo lang.
Almost 1 kilo. Hindi ko po alam.
1 kilo yung UAV.
Yung UAV po, almost, nasa 3 kilo.
Ano yung 1 kilo?
Yung drone, yung LiDAR. Nasa 1 kg or almost 1 kg.
yung laser, ayun. Anong meaning ng LiDAR? May anong meaning? Wala ito. Ay, anong meaning?
That LiDAR stands for light detection and ranging. Light detection and ranging. We also call that as platform. Kasi siya yung yung payload, yung tinatawag natin. Kasi baka nakikita niyo dyan sa specification. The LiDAR itself, we call that payload. Pero yung bumubuhat sa kanya, which is yung drone, yun ang platform. Kasi baka nakikita niyo dyan, may technical terms na hindi So LiDAR means light detection and ranging.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Leonie Pasqua, for the clarification or the meaning of LiDAR. This instrument will be a great help, especially in the planning and design section. That this is the result of this LiDAR is They are looking for the design audit. Correct me, no, Engineer Benavista. Ito yung doon, hinahanap ng design audit, yung result ng one, yung raw data. Yun nga kaya yung terrain. Bro, may terrain kasi na hinahanap yung design audit. So, wala. So, next, about engineer, ay, tapos na di ba? Loida, Bernabe, from, no, no, no comment. So, Architect Ivy Salazar, do you have any,
Hello. So, hello. Since, less than yung pag tumas ng 7 kilogram, kailangan na ng registration sa ka-app yung mismong unit. Now, yung controller niya, meron ba kayong parang free training para doon sa magko-control ng drone?
Yes po. We have pilot po. So, based po dun sa, kung kapalo po natin yung build, meron pong 3 personnel for backup assistance po. Para just in case na yung end user po, they decided na gusto po nila magpa-register. So, pwede po namin siya i-assist. Then we have 5 days training po para sa hanggang processing. Para po hindi naman po maiwanan yung end user na basta nandun lang yung drone tapos kasi marami pong prevention na kailangan gawin based po sa ka. So, pati po yung pinapagawa sa ka na spiral, lahat po. So, ituturo po yun ng ka-file. If ever na kami po yung
So, free. That's for free.
That's free.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Architect Ivy Salazar, for the question and clarification. Let's go with our back Vice Chair, Engineer Danilo Iwe Bernabe, for any question or clarification regarding the PERS goods and services.
No amendment, Mr. Chair, but then clarification lang. Yung 5 days na training doon sa mga personnel namin dito, yung costing nun is embedded na doon sa price or doon sa approved budget for the contract o doon sa bid nyo?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yun lang. Ilang tao ang pwede na palang mag-attend daw doon sa training nyo? Wala bang, hindi ba limited yun?
Pag gano'n naman po, just in case na kami po, nakikipag-communicate naman po kami. So, nakalagay po 3 personnel, pero yung much better po kung open po sa ibang division. Para
3 personnel lang yung ititrain nyo. Yun lang ba?
Pero open po, kahit po hanggang 15, 10, 15.
Okay.
Kahit per section po, pwede po mag-attend para if ever na wala pong pilot po, may project po. Kahit sino po, pwede kumuha sa ibang section.
Yes, that's good.
Okay, very good. Ang tanong na lang, libre ba yung lunch at saka yung snack during that training? Just in case kayo yung makakuha. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Bernabe, for the question and clarification regarding these PERS goods and services. So, since we have no other question or clarification regarding the PERS project, then unanimously we have no amendment for this project. So, let's proceed for the second goods and services with contract ID number 23 GBI 76. Again, may request Engineer Larissa Blanza to discuss to us the particulars of this project.
Good morning po ulit. So for the contract ID number 23 GBI 76, the name of the project is procurement of 1 unit heavy-duty production copier for the use of DPWH Nueva Vizcaya First DEO. The indicative approved budget for the contract is 8.1 million pesos. The duration for the contract is 30 calendar days upon the issuance of the NTP. The cost of bid documents is 10,000 pesos. The source of fund is from the DPWH FY 2023 capital outlay. So for this contract, we have 1 unit heavy-duty production copier. That's all. Thank you.
That's all. That's all, Engineer Blanza. So, may I ask from the Secretariat, from our YouTube live viewers, do you have any questions or clarification regarding this project with contract ID number 20 GBI 76? None. Let's go with our fellow back members. Let's start from Engineer Jermin Buenavista. Well,
No amendments, Mr. Chair.
noted. Architect Ivy Salazar, or provisional member for all types of procurement. Noted. About our back vice chair, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe.
No amendments, Mr. Chair, but then I would like to request the proponent of this heavy duty production copier na please lang yung specification. Maybe it will based pa naman before the bidding. At least 7 calendar days before the drafting of bids. Sana mayroon kayong may box
Special.
na specification dito. Yun lang, thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe, for so may I request Engineer Larissa Blanza, we have still time to we will give the specification for this particular project prior to opening of bids. We have 1 week before the opening of bids for the specification.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So since we have no amendment for this particular project, for the meantime, we will adapt the basic contract data as advertised. So we'll go for the third goods and services with contract ID number 20 GBI 77. So Engineer Larissa Blanza again will discuss to us the basic contract data.
So for the contract ID number 23 GBI 77, the project name is procurement of 32 pair of proper shoes for office personnel, etc., for use in the maintenance of national roads and bridges. The location of the project is at DPWH, Bambang-Kasibu, Vizcaya. The indicative approved budget for the contract is 2,026,400 pesos. The duration for the contract is 30 calendar days upon the issuance of NTP. Cost of bidding documents is 5,000 pesos. The source of fund is from the DPWH FY 2023 capital outlay. So in this contract po, we have 32 pairs of proper shoes for office personnel, 60 pairs of proper shoes for field personnel or for the maintenance personnel po. 60 pairs of rubber boots po for the maintenance personnel, 60 pieces of raincoat with logo, 92 pieces of jacket with logo, 60 pieces of long sleeves, the regular long sleeves na orange po, 60 pieces of long sleeves with reflectorized lining para sa mga field personnel po, 60 pieces of orange cap, 32 pieces of bunny hat, and 120 pieces or pairs of safety gloves. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Again, thank you, Engineer Blanza, for this discussing to us the details for the project with contract ID number 23 GBI 77. Again, from the Secretariat, do you have any questions for from our YouTube live viewers, especially our prospective bidders? None. So let's go with the from the fellow back members, from Engineer Jermin Benavista from the Planning and Design section.
No amendments, Mr. Chair.
Noted, Engineer. Engineer Lloyd Bernabe, do you have any? Noted. Architect Ivy Salazar. Noted. Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe or Back Vice Chair.
No amendments, Mr. Chair.
Noted. So, since anonymously we have no amendment for the third, goods and services, then we will adopt the basic contract data as advertised. So, let's proceed for the next agenda, which is the civil works. For first is the first with contract ID number 23 GBI 125. These three up to 23 GB 127. This will be discussed to us the scope of work and details by the preparer, Engineer Joseph Adukul. Engineer Adukul, take it away.
Thank you, Sir Bakir. Good morning to each and everyone. For the first civil work for today, for the contract ID number 23BI0125 entitled Organizational Outcome 2, Protect Lives and Properties Against Major Floods, Flood Management Program, Construction, Rehabilitation of Flood Mitigation Facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, construction of Homestead flood control structure along Santa Fe River, Bambang-Nueva, Vizcaya. It is located at Bambang-Nueva, Vizcaya. The approved ABC of this project is 15,440,000, and the project description is the provision of 428 linear meter gabion revetment with mattresses at existing rubble concrete revetment. The duration of the project is 183 calendar days. Cost of bid documents is 25,000, and the source of fund is for FY 2022 under RA 11639 augmentation. The required pickup license is at small b. Cecil, could you please say the PowerPoint presentation? Next, Cecil. This is the location of the project. It is located at the back or adjacent of the Nueva Vizcaya State University Bambang campus at the Oval near the Kupas Bridge, adjacent to the newly constructed bypass road of Bambang. Next, Cecil. This is the typical section of the project. There's an existing sheet pile and rubble concrete there. Then the proposed project is the provisions of proposed gabions and 2 lines of gabion. That's all, sir, for this particular project.
Thank you, Engineer Adukul, for discussing the project number 1 with contract ID 23BI0125. So, from the Secretariat, do you have any questions or clarification for the first civil works project? None? Fellow back members, let's start from Engineer Jermin Benavista, provisional member from the Planning and Design section.
No amendments, Mr. Chair.
Noted. Engineer Loida Bernabe, provisional member from the maintenance section.
No amendments.
Noted. Architect Ivy Salazar, do you have any amendments? Noted. Our back vice chair, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe.
No amendments, Mr. Chair, but then I would like to ask the technical personnel who prepared the plan and program of work regarding the project duration. 183 calendar days ba talaga yan?
2013 and 2014, the computed duration of this project included the holidays and the Holiday, Sundays, and the
So,
Okay, that's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
so it already answered by the preparer or about the computation of the duration. So since we have no amendment, anonymously we have no amendment, then we will adapt the basic contract data as advertised. So let's proceed for the project number 2 with contract ID number 23BI0126. Again, Engineer Adukul, Joseph Adukul will present to us the details and scope of work of this project. Engineer Adukul, take it away.
Thank you, sir. For the second civil works, with a contract ID number 23BI0126, entitled Organizational Outcome 1, Ensure Safe and Reliable National Road System Asset Preservation Program, Rehabilitation, Reconstruction of Roads with Slips, Slope Collapse, and Landslide, Tertiary Roads, Bambang-Kasibu, Solano Road, K0255 plus 002 KO255 plus 065. It is located at Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. The indicative approved ABC is 48,250,000, and the project description is the additional 2,987.50 square meter rockfall netting with erosion control mat and hydro seeding. The duration of the project is 104 calendar days. The cost of bid documents is 25,000. The source of fund is FY 2022 under RA 11639 augmentation, and the required pickup license license size range is at medium A. Cecil, could you please show the PowerPoint presentation? Next slide, please. The location of the project is located along Bambang-Kasibu Solano Road at kilometer post 255 plus 002 KO 255 plus 065. Next slide, please. This is the image of the project. Next, please. For this project, these are the major pay items. Under Part C, earthworks, there are 101 clearing and grabbing. Part G, which is pay item number 5121D, erosion control map type 4, 5131, permanent ground anchor for active wire mesh system, 520, 1, hydro seeding, 522 for P1. The anchor, the length of the anchor is 6.5 meters with a threaded at the end, 32 mm diameter, space at 4 meters along each other. Then the binding of the wire mesh has a clip, and it is grouted with a 5,000 psi for 14 days. I think that's all, sir, for this particular project.
Thank you, Engineer Joseph Abdukul, for discussing to us the scope of work and details for this particular project with contract ID number 23BI0126. So again, from the Secretariat, do we have any questions or clarification from our YouTube live viewers, especially our prospective bidders? None? Let's go with the Wellback members. Do we have any amendment for this particular project? Let's start from Engineer Jermin Buenavista. provisional member from the planning and design section.
Verify ko lang yung sa may location ng project. Website.
Sure.
Nandiyan yung ano. From Bambang, doon sa may sa Bambang gusto mag-visit niya. Yes, sir. Kapag from Bambang, nilalagay natin dyan yung website. Just a list. Pero tingnan mo nga yung ano niya, parang yung location niya. Yung project mismo, yung may existing tsaka yung proposed. Next slide, next slide. Ayan. Ba't nasa? Kamali lang ako na imagine. Kaya bababaitan, ba't namin yung existing? Tapos nababa nung ano. Di ba nagkamali ako? For that, Mr. Chair, no.
Okay, noted, Engineer Benavista. About provincial member from maintenance section, Engineer Lloyd Bernabe. Noted. Architect Ivy Salazar, provisional member for all types of procurement.
No amendment, sir.
Noted. Back Vice Chair, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe.
No amendments, Mr. Chair.
Okay, noted. So since anonymously we have no amendment for these particular projects, and we will adopt the basic contract data as advertised. So let's proceed for the last civil works project for today's private conference with contract ID number 23BI0127. Again, to be discussed to us by the preparer, Engineer Joseph Adukul. Engineer Adukul, take it away.
Thank you, sir. For the third civil works, with the contract ID number 23PI0127, entitled Organizational Outcome 2, Protect Lives and Properties Against Major Floods, Flood Management Program, Construction, Rehabilitation of Flood Mitigation Facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, construction of Santa Fe River Control Structure, Almaguer South Section, Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. It is located at Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya, and the approved ABC is 57,900,000. The project description for Section 1 is construction of 187 linear meters rubble concrete revetment with mattresses and gabions, and additional 2 layers gabions at existing revetment. For the Section 2, construction of 140 linear meters rubble concrete revetment with mattresses and gabions. The duration of the project is 203 calendar days, and the cost of bid documents is 50,000. The source of fund is FY 2022 under RA 11639 augmentation, and the pickup license category is at medium A. PowerPoint presentation, please. This is the location of the project. It is located at Almaguer South. The first, I think that's the first pre-stress bridge. The Almaguer. Next slide. This is the layout plan of the proposed project.
Almaguer Bridge along provincial road yung Almaguer.
Back.
So, yung
Could you please
ginawa
back?
ni Juan ni BRG, downstream yung
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think that's the project of PRD construction. Extension, sir. And the other side. Next slide, please. This is the typical section of the proposed project from station 0 plus 668 from the section 1. Is the additional of 1 lines at first layer and 2 lines at the second layer. Then the rest has 2 layers. First layer has 3 lines, and for the second layer it has 2 lines of gabions. I think that's all, sir, for this particular project. Thank you.
Again, thank you, Engineer Joseph Abdul, for discussing to us the project number 3 with contract ID 23 GBI BI 127. Again, from the Secretariat, do you have any questions or clarification from our YouTube live viewers, especially our prospective bidders? None? So let's go with if we have any amendment from the planning provisional member from the planning and design section, Engineer Jermin Benavista.
Mr. Chair, verify ko lang ulit dun sa cross-section niya. So yung sa proposed project natin, di ba, additional gabion? And then may additional embankment din doon sa from existing. Okay. So that's all, Mr. Chair. No amendments.
Okay, noted, Engineer Benavista. From the maintenance section, provisional member, Engineer Lloyd Bernabe.
No amendments, sir.
Noted. Architect Ivy Salazar. From noted. Our back Vice Chair, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe.
No amendments, Mr. Chair.
Noted,
you.
sir. So, since we have anonymously, we have no amendment for this particular project with contract ID number 23BI 0127, then we'll adopt the basic contract data as advertised. So, let's proceed for the next agenda, which is the second agenda for today, requirements of bidding documents to be discussed to us by our head secretariat, Engineer Brian Neil Augusto. Engineer Augusto, take it away.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for the second agenda, requirements of the bidding documents for the civil works, sir. We have the civil works for ITB close. For contract ID number 23BI0125 for ITB close 14.2A to AI, major category of works, FCSPS, flood control construction and slope protection using structural measures. For ITB close 14.2A4B, the minimum work experience requirements for the key personnel are the following. For the key personnel, we have the project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, foreman, and safety officer. Minimum years of similar experience, same position is 5 years. Minimum years of total work experience, same position is 5 years. Accredited safety officer required upon the issuance of notice of award, subject to Department Order Number 98, Series of 2014, submission of Construction Safety and Health Program approved by the Department of Labor and Employment or DOLE. First aider with certificate of training issued by Red Cross in compliance to the DOLE requirements for the approval of Construction Safety and Health Program required upon issuance of notice of award subject to Department Order Number 98, Series of 2014, submission of Construction Safety and Health Program approved by the Department of Labor and Employment or DOLE. For ITB Close 14.2A, the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. For the equipments, we have the backhoe, capacity 0.8 cubic meter, required unit is 1, water truck, required unit is 4, backhoe, wheel type, capacity is 0.28 cubic meter, required unit is 1, bulldozer, required unit is 1, freeloader, required unit is 1, dump truck, required unit is 2, motorized road grader, required unit is 1, and vibratory roller, required unit is 1. For the minimum requirements for laboratory equipments, please refer to DO number 11, series of 2017 for the minimum materials testing equipment and Department Order number 127, series of 2018, strict application of Republic Act 9184 to conduct of post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts with the DPWH. For the second civil works, sir, with contract ID number 23 BI 0126, for ITB close 14.2A, 2AI, major category of works is RCSPS, roads, construction, slope protection using structural measures. For ITB close 14.2A, For B, the minimum work experience requirements for the key personnel are the following. For the key personnel, we have project manager, geotechnical engineer, project engineer, materials engineer, and foreman. Minimum years of similar experience, same position is 5 years. Minimum years of total work experience, same position is 5 years. Accreditation of safety officer required upon issuance of notice of award, subject to DO 98 series of 2014, submission of construction safety and health program approved by the Department of Labor Employment or DOLE. First aider with certificate of training issued by Red Cross in compliance to DOLE requirements for the approval of construction of safety and health program required upon issuance of notice of award, subject to Department Order Number 98, Series of 2014, submission of construction safety and health program approved the Department of Labor, Employment, or DOLE. For ITB clause number 14.2A4, the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. For the description, for the equipments, we have water truck, capacity is 16,000 liters, it required units 1, backhoe, 0.8 cubic meter with attachment, required unit is 1, bulldozer, payloader, required unit is 1, air compressor, required unit is 1, grouting machine, air driver, required unit is 1, and hydro seeding machine, requirement is 1. For the minimum laboratory equipments, please refer to the 11 series of 2017 for the minimum materials testing equipment and Department Order Number 127, Series of 2018, strict application of Republic Act 9184, the conduct of post-qualification of bidders with delayed and ongoing contracts within the DPWH. For the Civil Works Project, sir, with contract ID number 23 BI0127. For ITB clause 14.2A, 2AI, major category of works is FPS, flood control, construction, slope protection using structural measures. For ITB clause 14.2A, 4B, the minimum work experience requirements for the key personnel are the following. For the key personnel, we have project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, foreman, and safety officer. Minimum years of similar experience, same position is 5 years. Minimum of total work experience, same position is 5 years. Accredited safety officer required upon issuance of notice of award, subject to Department Order number 98 series of 2014, submission of construction safety and health program approved by the Department of Labor, Employment, or DOLE. For ITB clause 14.2A4, the minimum major equipments requirements are the following. For the description, we have one bagger mixer, required unit is 4, water truck, required unit is 1, backhoe, wheel type, capacity is 0.28 cubic meters, required unit is 1, water pump, required unit is 4, bulldozer, payloader, required units 1, and dump truck, required units is 2. For the minimum laboratory equipment requirements, please refer to the number 11, series of 2017, for the minimum materials testing equipment, and DO 127 series of 2018, strict application of Republic Act 9184, the conduct of post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts with the DPWH. Sir, that's all for the requirements of the bidding documents for the agenda number 2. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Brian Neil D. Augusto for the agenda number 2. So let's proceed for the agenda number 3, which is the documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposals. Again, may I request Engineer Brian Neil Augusto, our Head Secretariat, for the agenda number 3.
Thank you, sir, for the documents to be submitted by the bidders, including technical and financial proposals. Sir, this will be played through a audio recording. Thank you.
Okay, please play the audio recording.
Technical and financial components. Number 1. Technical component envelope. Class A documents. For legal documents, letter A. Valid PhilJIPS registration certificate, platinum membership, all pages. Or letter B. Registration certificate from Securities and Exchange Commission, Department of Trade and Industry for sole proprietorship, or Cooperative Development Authority for cooperatives or its equivalent document. And letter C, mayor's or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of the prospective bidder is located, or the equivalent document for exclusive economic zones or areas. And letter D, tax clearance per EO number 398, series of 2005, as finally reviewed and approved by the Bureau of Internal Revenue. For technical documents, letter E, statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. And letter F, a statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, or SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided under the rules. And letter G, Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board or PCAB license, or special PCAB license in case of joint ventures. And registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid. And letter F, original copy of bid security in the form of surety bond. Submit also the certification issued by the Insurance Commission, or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration. And letter I, project requirements, which shall include the following. First, organizational chart for the contract to be bid. Second, list of contractors' key personnel, for example, project manager, project engineers, materials engineers, safety officer, and foreman, to be assigned to the contract to be bid, with their complete qualification and experience data. Third, list of contractors' major equipment units which are owned, leased, and or under purchase agreements, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor, vendor, or the duration of the project as the case may be. And last, list of contractors' minimum material testing equipment which are owned as per Department Order Number 11, Series of 2017. For letter J, original duly signed omnibus sworn statement o OSS, and if applicable, original notarized secretary's certificate in case of corporation, partnership, or cooperatives, or original special power of attorney of all members of joint venture, giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and to do acts to represent the bidder. For financial documents, letter K, the prospective bidder's audited financial statements showing, among others, the prospective bidder's total and current assets and liabilities is stamp received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission. And letter L, the prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity, or NFCC, Class B documents. Letter M, if applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement or JVA in accordance with the Republic Act number 4566 and its IRR in case the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statement from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the JVA in the instance that the bid is successful. Number 2, financial component envelope. Letter N, original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form and other documentary requirements under Republic Act number 9184. Letter O, original of duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities. And letter P, duly accomplished detailed estimate form, including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rental used in coming up with the bid. And letter Q, cash flow by quarter.
Sir, that's all for the documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposals. Thank you.
Again, thank you, Engineer Brian Aragusto, for agenda number 3. So let's proceed for the agenda number 4, which is the criteria and procedure for the preliminary examination of the bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, and award. May request Architect IBO Salazar or a provisional member from all types of procurement. O- Okay, go ahead. Please play the pre-recorded presentation for agenda number 4, Secretariat.
Pre-bid conference, detailed evaluation of bids. For the procurement of goods and infrastructure projects, the BAC shall evaluate the financial component of the bids to determine the lowest calculated bid using the following steps. The BAC shall immediately conduct a detailed evaluation of all bids using non-discretionary criteria in considering the following. Completeness of the bid. Unless the instructions to bidders specifically allow partial bids not addressing or providing all of the required items in the bidding documents, including or applicable bill of quantities, shall be considered non-responsive and thus automatically disqualified. In this regard, where a required item is provided but no price is indicated, the same shall be considered as non-responsive. But specifying a zero or a dash for the said item would mean that it is being offered for free to the government, except those required by law or regulations to be provided for. Arithmetical corrections. Consider computational errors and omissions to enable proper comparison of all eligible bids. It may also consider bid modifications if expressly allowed in the bidding documents. Any adjustment shall be calculated in monetary terms to determine the calculated prices. The BAC shall evaluate all bids on an equal footing to ensure fair and competitive bid comparison. For this purpose, all bidders shall be required to include the cost of all taxes, such as, but not limited to, value-added tax, income tax, local taxes, and other fiscal levies and duties, which shall be itemized in the bid form and reflected in the detailed estimates. Such bids, including said taxes, shall be basis for bid evaluation and comparison. In case of discrepancies between bid prices in figures and in words, the latter shall prevail. Between total price per item and unit price for the item as extended or multiplied by the quantity of that item, the latter shall prevail. Between stated total price and the actual sum of prices of component items, the latter shall prevail. Between unit cost in the detailed estimate and unit cost in the bill of quantities, the latter shall prevail. Post-qualification. Objective and process of post-qualification. The lowest calculated bid shall undergo post-qualification in order to determine whether the bidder concerned complies with and is responsive to all the requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding documents. Within 5 calendar days from receipt by the bidder of the notice from the BAC that the bidder has the lowest calculated bid, the bidder shall submit to the BAC its latest income and business tax returns and other appropriate licenses and permits required by law and stated in the bidding documents. Failure to submit any of the post-qualification requirements on time or a finding against the veracity thereof shall disqualify the bidder for award, provided that in the event that a finding against the veracity of any of the documents submitted is made, it shall cause the forfeiture of the bid security in accordance with Section 69 of this IRR. The post-qualification shall verify, validate, and ascertain all statements made and documents submitted by the bidder with the lowest calculated bid using non-discretionary criteria as stated in the bidding documents. These criteria shall consider, but shall not be limited to the following: Legal requirements. To verify, validate, and ascertain licenses, certificates, permits, and agreements submitted by the bidder, and the fact that it is not included in any blacklist as provided in Section 25.3 of this IRR. For this purpose, the GPPB shall maintain a consolidated file of all blacklisted suppliers, contractors, and consultants. Technical requirements. To determine compliance of the infrastructure projects offered with the requirements specified in the bidding documents, including, where applicable, verification and validation of the bidder's stated competence and experience, and the competence and experience of the bidder's key personnel to be assigned to the project for the procurement of infrastructure projects. Verification of availability and commitment and/or inspection and testing for the required capacities and operating conditions of equipment unit to be owned, leased, under, purchased by the bidder for use in the contract. Negative slippage of at least 15% in any one project or a negative slippage of at least 10% in each of 2 or more contracts. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on ongoing contracts within 7 calendar days and to complete them within 30 calendar days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and deficiencies. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on contracts with pending certificates of acceptance within 30 calendar days and complete them within 90 days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and failures, or substandard quality of work as per contract plans and specifications, or unsatisfactory performance of the contractor's obligations as per contract terms and conditions at the time of inspection. If the BAC verifies any of these deficiencies to be due to the contractor's fault or negligence, the agency shall disqualify the contractor from the award for the procurement of infrastructure projects.
Technical and financial components. Number 1, technical component and
That's all, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the agenda number 4. So we'll proceed for the. Hello. We'll proceed for the agenda number 5, which is the questions, comments from bidders, and replies of BAC and other representatives of procuring entity. So let's start from our YouTube live viewers. Do we have any questions or clarifications from the bidding documents? None. From our loan bidder who attended for today, Sessions Marketing Incorporated, Sir Gian, do you have any question or comments from the bidding documents as
Pag-download na lang po ng mga attachment.
okay,
Yun na lang po.
procurement, kindly assist the
Thank you po.
bidder, prospective bidder for the downloadable documents, bidding documents.
Yes,
So-
noted, sir. Mr.
Okay.
Chair.
So about do you have any other questions or clarification by fellow PAC members? From let's start from our PAC Vice Chair. We have no.
Yes, Mr. Chair. The prospective bidder for contract ID number 23 GBI 23 GBI 75, please be informed that all the bidding documents are all ready. Pwede ka nang bumili ngayon kung gusto mong bumili. Hindi mo na kailangan mag-download pa. Kasi readily available na siya. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Danilo Bernabe, for our back vice chair for the informing the prospective bidder for number one good and services for the project. So, any questions for other members? None. So let's proceed. May ask the secretariat if we have any announcement or reminders to be made for the next procurement activity. Engineer Brian Neil Augusto.
Yes, Mr. Chair, we have a further announcement reminders again for the next procurement activity, sir.
Okay, please read and all the details of these next procurement activities.
For the announcement reminders, which is the opening of bids, date and time is November 9, 2023 at 9:01 a.m. Venue, PRU Bidding Room, Main Building, DPWH and the first DEO Bayambong Nueva Vizcaya for 2 civil works projects, sir. With the first project with contract ID number 23BI0112, name of the project, Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, Multipurpose Buildings, Facilities to Support Social Services, construction of multipurpose building, Bambang-Nueva Vizcaya. Location of the project is at Bambang-Nueva Vizcaya with an indicative approved budget for the contract or ABC of 29,700,000 pesos with a project description of construction of municipal hall building with a project duration of 150 calendar days and a cost of bidding documents of 25,000 with a source of fund of regular infra FY 2023 with a required pickup license science range of small b. For the second project, sir, with contract ID number 23BI0113, name of the project, Sustainable Infrastructure Projects Alleviating Gaps or CPAG, Multipurpose Buildings, Facilities to Support Social Services, Construction of Multipurpose Building, Phase 2, Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. Location of the project is at Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya with an indicative approved budget for the contract or ABC of 49 million pesos with a project description of construction of municipal hall building with a project duration of 250 calendar days and a cost of bidding documents of 25,000 pesos only with a source of fund of regular infra FY 2023 and required pickup license science range of medium A. Sir, that's all for the announcement reminders for the next procurement activities. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretariat, Engineer Brian Neil Augusto, for the announcement reminders, which is on November 9, 2023. Again, take note that we'll have letters to the or official observers for the next procurement activities.
Noted, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. So we'll proceed for the last agenda, which is the summary of proceedings, including bid bulletins, addenda to be issued. So do you have a okay, for the 7 summary of proceedings, do you have any other questions or clarification, fellow back members? None? There being none, so we will adopt all the for the 3 goods and services and 3 civil works project. We will adopt the bidding documents as posted and advertised. So that's all. That ends our private conference for today. So can I hear any motion to adjourn?
Hello. Okay. Mr. Chair, since we have already discussed the basic contract data for 3 goods and services and 3 civil works, as the back chair, as the assistant, the
Back vice chair.
vice chair, I move that the meeting for today, the private conference, be adjourned.
Since it's been moved and seconded, as back chair, I now declare that this private conference is officially closed. So Mabuhay sa tayong lahat. God bless us all and thank you very much.